Love you. So, I'm Dr. Luka Musich, and I'm here with
Sean Entin.
Sean Entin.
I'm a stroke survivor. They call me the Strokehacker. And Dr. Luka is one of my favorite chiropractors. As you guys all know, chiropractic works really. The neurosurgeon saved my life, but chiropractic really got me back to walking and talking and driving again. And these guys are just amazing doctors and holistic practitioners, which if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here right now.
So the work that we're doing on Sean right now, I've worked on him once before, about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Has it been that long? My goodness. And when you have a stroke, your brain is damaged. However, all of the nerves that control your body and that your brain uses to get those signals down to your body, they're all still there. And so you can kind of work backwards through some bio-neurofeedback where if you can send signals up into the brain along those nerves by triggering reflexes, by mobilizing the area, you can force panic signals up into the brain, and your brain has to respond in some way. Usually it's pain and tingling, or like that kind of sleep feeling that you get, that pins and needles. And all of that is brain activity. That's all neurons trying to find a place to go. You do it enough times and you start to get a little bit of recovery, even after a long time.
10 years.
And so even something as simple as stretching out an area that is reflexed shut. But then you can take it to the next step by having the patient put some effort into it. So I've already put the reflexes into the hand. Now I'm going to ask him to use the hand back at me. Go and squeeze my hand. And so he's got a little bit of a grip. He's able to use his thumb. You're able to see it curl there. You see his fingers curling here. You're going to relax it now. And so now we're going to undo all of that and send that signal right back. If we can do this enough times, it'll get easier and easier. And so 16 years ago, my own father had a stroke, and that's what led me down this path of trying to learn everything that I could about what it takes to rebuild a brain, basically. And you'd never know he had a stroke now. He's working all the time, and he's got great function of his left side, the same side that we're working on with Sean right now. And anything else you'd like to add?
No, this is great.
All right. So what we're doing right now, I've already kind of worked all the way up from his legs. They say that wiggling your toes is the hardest part. And so as we work back up, we're kind of taking a trip all around the brain, because every part of the brain controls a different part of the body. So as we're working our way up the body, I've already done his hips, I've already done his ribs, all the way to the shoulder. Now we're working our way down. I've been working on the hand, now it's wrist time. And we don't necessarily need to adjust, but just getting through all of that restriction, all of that spasm, allowing those joints to send signals saying, hey, we're moving again. All right, that causes your brain to have to respond to that.
So do you want to share with the audience my ischemic stroke was on the right side, which affect the left side?
Correct. And so that's actually the same as my father. So the way that your brain is wired, the left side controls the right side of your body, and right side controls the left side of your body. And in most of the body. Now there are some areas in the skull where it goes straight from brain to the same side, or ipsilateral. But yes, as I'm working the left side of his body, the right side of his brain is benefiting from it. Later, if we can get him to the point where he's able to use this arm with enough control, we can get him to start reconnecting the sides of his brain by doing what's called cross-pathing, where he would take his own hand and touch the opposite side of his head. So that would cause his right brain to control his left body to touch his right head, which is controlled by his left brain. It just does this big cross-pathing where your brain has to really think about what's going on.
And it's exhausting. It'll tire me out.
Absolutely.
So an hour of this, I'll probably need like a half hour worth of a meditation or a nap or hypnotherapy to really understand this, because if you overwork it too much, you won't catch anything.
Mm-hmm. So we're pretty much done here, so unless we want to work on the ears, jaw, and neck.
Sure, anything you want to do.
Sure. All right, go and hold on to that for me so it doesn't run away. All right. All right. Very good. Let's take a look here. Open your mouth and close. Open all the way. So there's actually very little wrong with his jaw. Going to open and close. So we're just doing some light mobilization. Open and close. Close. Perfect. Good. All right. And all this, once again, just feeding information into the brain. Actually, your neck's still pretty good from the other night. Might need a little something right there.
Exactly.
Yeah. I want to do that in a chair though. Oh, we could probably try it here. Won't hurt me. Yeah, there we go. Easy. All right. We're all set for today.
That's awesome. So the foot's good. I mean, you just whatever you just did. I'm now relaxed. I came in.
Right, exactly. It was all spasmed up when I first took off your shoe.
And basically, he basically said, so if I feel the pain, but how would you explain to a therapist that someone's not a chiropractor how to do that? So imagine. So take us through. Let's say I came in with the spasms. Where do you start with first? So I'm coming with spasms that like that.
Okay. And first of all, for you to give that example, that's excellent control. But now it is spasmed, now that you've done it. But it came right out pretty quickly. So this would be known as a Babinski reflex if we had gone up like this, but we can definitely elicit it in this way. What's happening here is these muscles they've decided, or your brain has decided that they are not connected. And so when any muscle disconnects from the brain, it does what it does best, and it grips. Unless it's a peripheral nerve thing. If the nerve injury's out here, it'll actually go limp. So this is how you know that this injury is in the spinal cord or brain, is that it will go into spasm. And so
it's the spinal cord, you said?
yeah, spinal cord or brain.
Okay, or brain. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the central nervous system. Any central nervous system lesion will result in spasm of muscle. Okay. Whereas if like you got a big gash across your leg here, and it was peripheral, it would just go limp. And then you get dropped or something like that. And so, for say like a massage therapist or a physical therapist or someone else who's going to work on this area, the best thing is being thorough. You want to make sure that every joint gets its attention, because every joint has its own innervation from the brain. Every muscle has its own innervation from the brain. And if you can interact with every one of them, that's just more activity that the brain's going to have. So you just slow and gentle, try not to hurt the patient too much. Really make sure every single joint goes. Now, see, this is all so much better than it was when I started earlier. And so then you have the other 17-ish bones right here in the foot.
Want some water? What do you want?
So at this point, when it's so spasmed, it's good to facilitate. So we can shorten the muscles by bending the leg, and so now the foot is much floppier. And so that will allow us to really get in there, really do that joint motion. Just kind of make sure everything's moving. And then you can move the fibula around, kind of tuck into the tibia there. And it's all gentle stuff. We're not trying to hurt him. We're just trying to remind his brain that this foot exists.
It's amazing, Doctor. I mean, 20 minutes, half hour of that. And the pain went from a 9-10 to like to nothing.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you. Now let's get up and enjoy the party.
All right, sounds like a
Dr.
plan.
Luka, you're awesome.
Great to see you.
Thank you so much, Doctor.